Imagine one conversation unlocking your teammates' real potential, not a yearly appraisal, not another feedback loop that goes nowhere, a focused developmental interview that gets people excited to grow and gives you a clear plan to support them. That's what we're going to talk about today. If you're a new mid-level manager, a team lead, you support managers and HR, especially in a growing team, this is for you. You're busy, you want practical frameworks, and you don't want theory for theory's sake. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to run a developmental interview, how it differs from appraisals and performance reviews, the pitfalls to avoid, and how to measure whether it's working. First, let's clear up some misunderstandings. I often hear developmental interviews are something we do for the employee's sake, right? Well, actually, they're for the team's sake. When people are seen, stretched, and supported, the team wins. You get stronger execution, better retention, and more initiative. Treating people like interchangeable parts, the old Taylorism mindset, optimized for short bursts, but kills long-term motivation. Developmental conversations are the antidote because they focus on momentum and potential, not just past results. So now here are a couple definitions. 3 conversations sound similar but are not the same: performance appraisals, performance reviews, and employee developmental interviews. A performance appraisal is formally and typically yearly. It evaluates results against goals, produces ratings, and often informs salary and promotion decisions. It's administrative and heavily documented. A performance review is a more frequent monthly or quarterly. It's a course correction conversation. You look at what's working, what's not, adjust your goals, and keep the work on track. It's conversational and ongoing. An employee developmental interview is future focused. It's about the individual's growth and career path, their ambitions, the skills to build, the opportunities to try, and the support they'll need. It should feel safe and open, and importantly, it should not include compensation or promotion decisions. Keep comp and developmental separate so people can speak honestly about what they want and what they're afraid to try. So, in short, appraisals evaluate, reviews steer, and development grows. They'll mix them. Why do developmental talks work so well, you could ask? Well, because clarity creates energy. And when someone has two concrete growth bets for the next quarter and real support behind them, they'll show up differently. You'll see more ideas, more initiative, and a tighter link between personal goals and the team's mission. And none of that requires a massive program. It starts with one high-quality conversation and consistent follow-up. Here's how to run a strong developmental interview, step by step. Step 1, understand the individual. Start by asking about strengths, energizers, and aspirations. Where did they feel most alive in the last month? Which tasks drain them and why? Where do teammates naturally go to for help? If you have access to personality strength assessments, use them to tailor the conversation, not to box people in. Then together identify the top skill gaps that actually matter for their ambition and for the team's goals. Step 2, build a plan. Align short-term and long-term goals for the next quarter. Pick 2 skills, not 8. 2 skills concentrates the effort and define what success looks like in observable terms so you can see or hear if the skill has improved. Agree on milestones and set a date to review the progress. And before you leave the room, put the next check-in in the calendar. Step 3, offer learning paths. So not everyone learns best from a course necessarily. So mix options, a short internal workshop. It could be an online module, a buddy or mentor with a specific brief, or a stretch assignment that lets them learn by doing. I've had a lot of experience with rotations, and shadow work can also be powerful. The key is specificity. Which project, what role, what outcome, and by when. Step 4, follow up relentlessly. Don't say feedback for the next meeting. Offer small specific feedback in the flow of work. Celebrate progress, especially when early wins, to build momentum. When it's appropriate, you could use a 360-degree input to widen the perspective, but keep it constructive and actionable. Step 5, expand responsibility. Invite them into discussions and decisions, delegate meaningful pieces of work with clear scope and support, and ask them to challenge processes and propose improvements. Their fresh perspective can reveal better ways of working if you create room for it. Step 6, protect psychological safety. Recognize effort as well as outcomes, especially when someone takes a smart risk. Model what you want to see. Here I'm talking about, for example, curiosity, openness to change, and a willingness to learn publicly. Psychological safety isn't about being soft. It's about creating the conditions where people can be bold without being punished for honest attempts to improve. So let's make this even more concrete with a few prompts you could use. It could be something like, ask which part of your week give you energy and which parts drain it. Ask, if we made your role 10% better next quarter, what would it change? You could ask, what skill, if improved, would unlock the most impact? Could also ask, which project would you feel like a stretch but exciting? You could also ask, what support do you need from me to make this realistic? When you open the conversation, set the frame. Say something like, today is about your growth skills and opportunities and what energizes you. We'll leave with 1 or 2 focus skills and concrete 90-day plan, for example. No compensation or promotion decisions in this meeting. When you close, lock the plan, summarize the 2 focus skills, the first next steps due within a week, for example, and the date of the next check-in. Send the calendar right before you wrap up. So a quick word on hygiene, if you want to call it that. Never blend salary and promotion into development. It instantly changes the tone and people will play defensive. So set true priorities, not a laundry list. If it isn't clear or written down in a shared place, it didn't happen. So document owners, dates, support, and always schedule the next check-in before you leave the room. Now, how do you know if it's working? Well, keep metrics human and useful. Track the percentage of your team with the active 90-day growth plan, for example, or track skill progression with a simple 1 to 5 self-rating. It could also be a manager rating on the 2 focus skills. You could also count the stretch assignments or rotations started. And you could also watch regrettable turnovers at 3 to 6 months, maybe 12 months. If these trend in the right direction, your culture and performance will follow. So before we finish, here are the biggest pitfalls to avoid. Number 1, turning a developmental conversation into a performance or salary talk. Keep those separate. 2, setting too many priorities. Two skills win, 8 skills die in the inbox. So number 3, skipping follow-up or documentation. This is huge. If it isn't in the calendar and it isn't written, it's wishful thinking, essentially. So make a plan, stick to it, follow up. So here's your challenge. In the next week, run one developmental interview. Keep it future focused. Listen more than you talk. Pick 2 skills. Define what success looks like and book the next check-in before you leave. You'll feel the difference in clarity and energy almost immediately. So if you found this helpful, you can download a ready-to-use template on my site, growthofterror.com. I've also put the link in the description. Subscribe for more practical leadership tools that you can use tomorrow morning. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.